On this episode of Doing the Most, we're kicking off the $100 challenge. In this week's video, we are chronicling what ended up being a 2-year adventure to make a community brew. You can probably tell I'm a little bit under the weather, so I'm gonna spare you a lot of me talking in this week's video and just kind of let you see the project as it played out. Way back in July of 2021, I offered to give somebody on my Discord server, a subscriber, $100 to buy ingredients. And I told the folks on the Discord server that they could democratically choose however they wanted this process to play out. They chose Rub Duck Sue, a member of our Discord, and he did a wonderful job of collecting ideas for ingredients and putting them in a spreadsheet and helping come up with this project. This video is going to be a lot longer than most video projects that you see on this channel because I really wanted to let the project play out and show you kind of the details of the thought exercises we went through as we created this brew. One caveat is that I don't have any video from the actual brewing process, so we're going to skip over that, but we talk about what our plan was and how we executed it in this video. If you want to jump around, there will be bookmarks down there for you to use in order to find your way around the video. Otherwise, enjoy. This is the $100 challenge. This is a long project. This could be a year before we know how good this turns out.
Potentially.
That's the issue with making homebrewing content. And I am here with, I guess, the mayor of $100 Challenge Town. Everybody knows Rub Duck Sue from our chat and our Discord. How are you?
I am well. And yourself?
I am fantastic. I'm excited to be here. So I was telling him before we got started that I've had to silo myself off of this particular Discord channel on our Discord server because I don't want to be spoiled. I don't want to know what's going on. So the initial challenge was I'm going to give someone $100. And the intention of that is that they're going to ship ingredients from Amazon to the Doing the Most P.O. box, and then I will brew with whatever shows up. Something. And the challenge there was I was going to provide no other information other than the community needed to choose a leader. Congratulations. Form their own practices, their own government, whatever, but choose somebody who they trusted to not run away with the $100. And they believe that person is you.
I mean, sure.
So, no spoilers, but tell me a little bit about what's going on in that channel, what everyone's been up to, and give me a finger on the pulse of the shenanigans that are happening behind the scenes.
It all kind of just started with trying to figure out how we were going to go about it. A few of us threw our hats into the ring, and then we kind of all decided that everybody who wanted to in the community was going to choose a single ingredient, something that you can find on Amazon, and we put it all into a Google Doc. That way, whoever won could choose from those ingredients. Okay. And then the giant battle of the memes for who was going to win. And it eventually just came to the point where I pulled ahead with about 24 hours to go, and here I am. First thing I did as soon as I won was immediately pass out because the results came in long after I needed to be asleep. And woke up, went to work, and immediately started working on some of the things on the list that I wanted. And then there's been some discussion about what I put on. And we're just trying to work through a lot of that right now with knowing something's coming and we don't know what it is.
Yeah, so on some of our live streams, I've teased the fact that this wasn't going to be as straightforward as initially described. There might be a little bit of a twist.
I've got about 7 or 8 ingredients in my cart already.
Okay.
I want to utilize what you're giving me to get you everything that we can. We've already had some discussion and disagreements about some of the stuff I put in there, but we're putting any editing on hold until I talk to you.
Excellent.
Okay, so you are thinking through a lens of acid, tannin, sweetness balance. Are you also approaching this from things that go into primary and things that go into secondary kind of lens?
For the most part, it's somewhat difficult because you have some people who are, I really like this ingredient, and they put that on. And then you have other people like Kyle who decided to put on something that I kind of promised I wouldn't put on, and yet I am debating as to whether or not I should give in.
Are you ready for the big reveal?
Ready or not?
So it's a twist and it's a rule, both. Okay? The
Okay.
rule is you're not allowed to tell anybody about the twist.
I figured that was the case.
And the twist is I'm going to give you an extra $20 and you have to buy an ingredient that's not on your Excel spreadsheet.
Ooh,
And you can't tell them what it is.
I like it.
So, your gift card will be for $120 US. 100 of it should be realistically devoted to the ingredients, however your process was going to unfold, and then another $20 for you to throw whatever else you want in there, provided you do not disclose this information to the community.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
It opens up the gate just a little bit more for you.
Yeah.
So we're gonna open these up and figure out what's inside them.
Okay.
Whatever. I'm so excited because they've been sitting here for like a week now. Other than this one on the bottom showed up Wednesday. But they've I have no idea what's in here.
Okay.
And some of them feel weird. Feel this
Yeah.
one. It's like crunchy.
That's cereal.
It could be.
I mean, oh no. So wrong.
I mean,
Wait,
you were close.
I mean,
There's more stuff in here too.
there's a lot of sugar. I'll give you that.
First ingredient. Oh, look at all the dust. We could mainline that. By the cup, assorted dehydrated cereal marshmallow bits, 1 pound bulk. Oh boy. Organic acai powder.
Is it acai or acai?
I thought this little doodly made it a S.
Sichuan peppercorns.
Okay, we have tea. This is good. Hyssop?
There's a little bit of something, but yeah,
So
you
there's
can't.
some tannin,
Yeah,
presumably.
for sure.
Some florals.
Oh.
There's a lot of stuff in here.
I don't know that all these flavors are going to match off the bat.
Okay, I'll start.
Okay.
We've got some Dole mandarin oranges
Yuck.
in 100% fruit juice.
This will be fun.
Is that coffee?
Nope. This is organic beetroot powder.
I'll go for this, which appears to be hops. I hope this isn't the only bag of hops in here. How stacked up against all this other shit.
Just beep that out. You'll be fine. Don't be sorghum. Date syrup.
Oh, okay.
That's
fermentable sugar.
Yeah, that's
that
very
should
interesting.
Be relatively neutral.
Yeah. Honestly, a date syrup. I mean, we're not gonna go like too far off the rails here, but this might be interesting just to make something kind of like just straight up with date syrup at some point.
Date lady. All right, what have we here? This looks whipped. High Mountain raw honey, white, unpasteurized. Is this whipped honey though? It looks like it might be whipped. It says it's wildflower. It tastes like wildflower.
Yeah.
I'll go first.
Okay.
Oh, these are tin cans, like aluminum cans.
Okay. It's gonna be pineapple.
Please don't be tuna fish.
Oh,
Or
come
like
on.
albacore.
Come on.
I mean,
They wouldn't do that. Oh,
geez.
okay. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's fun.
interesting. All right, is this the last? This is the last item.
Last item.
Hold on. Take a drink.
Oh boy. I'm a little nervous now.
Oh, and all of this just got lost.
Oh god.
Licorice sticks. Nothing goes with acai and mandarin and lychee like licorice. That's not what you expect.
I've worked with licorice in the past. What I learned is that a little bit goes a long way. So
That is very subtle
I
compared to
don't
what.
think we're gonna use much of this. Let's take a look at this. He has pointed out that there's a breach.
Oh, we're good.
Yeah, it's fine. Everything's fine. Okay, so let's talk about potential game plans.
Okay.
I would like to let's at least group fermentable sugars together.
Okay.
This is a problem.
There's a lot of sugar.
We've got spices,
Yep.
we've got tannin. We could really throw probably these into the acid category. We could put this in the realm of colorant.
I was gonna say that is going to make a very pretty purple hue.
So here's my biggest concern is I don't think there's a lot of fermentable sugar here. And I almost want to run the calculations on that. What if I made 2 batches? And to get the ABV up to where we need it to be, for this to be realistic, I use dextrose
Okay.
as the fermentable sugar, which should ferment clean with no additional flavors. It wouldn't be like using malt or even cane sugar. It would be very clean. And I make 2 separate batches. And then for the final 5 gallons, I blend. Like, I bring you back, we do bench trials, we figure out what that blend looks like, and then maybe it's like 15-85 or 60-40. We blend to get that final 5-gallon batch. That way we're able to group the ingredients with like ingredients, and then we have more control over the flavor profile of that final product rather than just yeeting everything in.
I mean, that'd probably be a more responsible way to do it, honestly.
Yeah. You know,
I mean, personally, I would be okay with that, but
because here's the thing.
I'm not the president of Discord, so.
President. I'm thinking if you took the fruity things, which are kind of this camp, and you take the spice, etc. things, which are kind of that camp, and you did 1 5-gallon batch here and 1 5-gallon batch here, crank that ABV up. It gives you 2 distinctly different things that you can then dial in by blending together.
I mean, I don't think that's outside of the realm of the assignment
Yeah.
or
I
whatever.
mean,
you wanna
because the
call it.
reality is they didn't give me enough fermentable sugars.
Yeah, there's really not.
But I have to provide my own water anyway, so why
True.
can't I also provide my own alcohol?
Well, you're not changing the flavor at all.
You know another thing they
By
didn't give
doing
us? Yeast.
Oh,
Just a few days ago, David came over and opened all of their packages. I think the most interesting thing out of all of this stuff, weirdly, is this tiny little package of Mosaic hops.
Believe it or not, it's really hard to find hops on Amazon.
Uh-huh.
That was actually one of my items. And
Okay.
it mostly came down to the fact that in a brewing community who loves to hop, almost everything.
Yeah.
Not one single person suggested hops, and I'm like, all right, let's try this.
Okay, so was this part of the $100 buy?
That was part of my 20.
Oh, this is part of your 20. What else? Okay, yeah. So the twist was that I gave you an extra $20. What else was part of that?
An ode to our friend Kyle. It is the cereal marshmallows.
Okay, I wondered. Okay, what?
It was cheap. It
Okay.
could be an acid amendment. Why not? Honestly, I thought that they were going to be a little bit more and figured that could be used as part of your base. But now looking at it, I'm like, good luck.
So we did some back of the napkin math on what it would look like if everything here that has sugar in it all went into 1 5-gallon batch. And we were looking at somewhere in the range of like just shy of 4% ABV, which is very low. Yeah, there's like maybe 400 grams of sugar in this whole bag, which is not that
Who knew
much.
marshmallows could be healthy?
I wouldn't go that far. So I am intrigued by this assortment. There are a lot more things here than I was expecting to get. I thought I'd get like 4 or 5 and there'd be some kind of like direction, but this is literally just like if you walk down the grocery store aisle randomly plinking things into the cart.
All I can really say is best of luck. I leave it to your expertise.
Okay. It's only been like a year and a half since this project started.
Yeah, it's been a little bit.
They're bulk aged. They're bulk aged largely on the lees too, so we should have some like Sir Lee action. I think that's what that's called.
Well, how do we feel about these? Are these going to be pleasant or?
I'm not quite sure. I see a tiny pellicle of some kind on this one, so that one may have soured at some point.
Fantastic.
Could be fun. We had a bunch of ingredients that Rub Duck Sue had $125 to spend on ingredients. And so all of the stuff that kind of was in the spices category fermented in this one, all the stuff that was in the kind of fruit, vegetable category fermented in that one. Just on sugar, like a country fruit wine.
Yeah.
And then the goal was that we would blend them for the perfect mix when we got to this part. Now here, years later, we're at that part. So we're gonna blend these and taste them and try and figure out what the right ratio is. I think what we should do first is just taste each of them so we can decide where we want to start with the blend. It smells good.
It smells a little sour.
This is the dry one.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of watery. Very spicy.
Yeah, it's very dry, very spice heavy, obviously. Ooh, really dry.
It's licoricey.
It's very woodsy too.
Mm-hmm.
It does not taste like it smells.
So this one had Szechuan peppercorns in it, and I can feel that. Can you feel that effect?
I can, yeah.
It's kind of a numbing effect on the tongue.
This one's much sweeter.
Mm-hmm. It's like a light, cidery kind of aroma.
It definitely kind of reminds me of Applejack.
Mm-hmm. There's definitely some alcohol burn on the nose.
Yeah.
Pretty good. It's very sweet, but
it's too sweet. I mean, the idea is to mix these together, so we'll come up with the ratio. But this is a good base, though, I think.
It is very smooth. I think we should do this probably in 100 ml increments.
Okay.
Do you think we should start 50-50, or do you think we should start more one or the other?
We should start 50-50.
All right, so we'll go fruit.
Still smells a little sour.
Mm-hmm.
Spice smell is very overpowering.
I think it's those peppercorns.
Mm-hmm.
I think it needs more of the fruit and less of the spice.
Interesting. Okay.
Because, I mean, yes, it calmed this down,
Mm-hmm.
but you're not getting really any fruit. It's still just mostly spice, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
So that peppercorn is tasty, but yeah, it's now it's almost like my palate's covered in a thin plastic film.
Yeah. Yeah. It's got me like right around the rim of my tongue.
Mine
Just feels like numb.
top and like the roof of my mouth.
I've never tasted anything that tastes like this.
But it's not bad.
No, it reminds me a little bit of... Am I thinking of Di Serono or Amaretti? But like
Well, they're both very like they're with Coors and they're very heavy liqueurs.
yeah, like it's thick and spicy and nutty
Mm-hmm.
and like hard to drink a little bit.
Right. Yeah. Like on its own.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you might have created something here that you want to mix with other things, not just the two of them.
Throw it in with some sparkling water and a squeeze of lime.
I mean, I think this one's a little sweet, but it is helping with the peppercorn issue. Kind of. I mean, it's still totally drinkable. But
Yeah.
it's just weird.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting creep from the peppercorns now,
Now they're in my gums, like.
to where like my mouth feels weird.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't go. Well, you could step it back. We could do like a 60-40. So we just did a 30-70, right?
Yeah, yeah,
But that's not gonna. It'll make it less sweet.
yeah, but like marginally.
Yeah. We could do a 70-30 just to see what happens.
So like a 70-30?
Yeah, why not?
Okay,
I mean, we're already here.
can do it.
And we're not getting away from that peppercorn. So,
No, lean in.
yeah, just lean into it.
All right, 30 of this, 70 of this. Water tastes weird now.
I mean, now we're back to it tastes like it's very, very earthy, very woodsy.
I think you're right. I think 70 fruit,
Yeah.
30 spices.
A little sweet for probably both of our palates, but it's good. It's not bad.
And it's balancing what's there.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Whew. Well, I'm not going to taste anything for the rest of the evening.
Yeah, it's pretty pungent. I'll have to do some math to make that happen. But
That's
I'll rack
fair.
these off, 70-30, and then bottle up a few bottles of this. Send one out to Rub Duck Sue from the Discord.
Hope you enjoy it.
We'll do a final tasting. Cheers. Okay,
Yeah,
it's
this
still,
one's that.
still. That's a good sign. I don't recall stabilizing this. I think I let both batches just naturally run their course, and then they sat for so long. I wasn't super worried about re-fermentation.
Yeah.
And fortunately, it seems like that didn't happen. So
Good. It was clear on my end too, so
it did. I mean, they cleared up beautifully, and so it was kind of fun blending two crystal clear products. It's definitely got a brown color, which
very much so.
would be expected from all the things that went into it. There wasn't a consistent color profile of anything.
No, but that date syrup's going to be prevalent in color.
Yeah, that, and I think the beetroot powder definitely contributed quite a bit of color too.
For sure.
I'm a little congested, but
No, but this will clear the sinuses for sure.
you pick up those peppercorns on the nose,
Very much so.
and you can smell some of that like dark, dry fruit kind of character in there, which is probably partially from the dates, again partially probably from the beetroot powder.
Hmm. But there's a almost sweetness on the back end of everything that is definitely more like the marshmallows and the white honey with that kind of sweetness that it's adding.
Yeah, you can pull in like almost like a roasted fruit kind of character, like a sweet
with just the slightest touch of citrus that might be from the peppercorns, but the mandarins might also be playing a role ever so slightly. Okay.
Starts off sweet. Swing into that peppercorn spice. And then everything else is kind of like
little
fireworks.
Yes. I honestly had no idea what to expect. I knew whatever I gave you, you would do the absolute best that almost anyone could do with it. It's not bad.
It's not bad.
No, not at all.
I think I told you it kind of reminds me of like Di Serono. Like it's got like a liqueur.
That's what it is. Yeah, but it's definitely got a little bit more of that bite to it because there's not as much of that sweetness.
But I could see blending this into a cocktail. Maybe not just sitting around drinking it on its own.
Yes, very much so.
But like this with, you know, like a shot of bourbon. A couple maraschino cherries.
Honestly, you could take this down, reduce it into a syrup to drizzle on some ice cream. Could actually be
that could
really,
be fun.
really good.
Actually,
right?
with the Szechuan peppercorns. That was really the star of this. And I'll say, I think that doing it as a split batch, where we were able on the back end to control what percentage of spice made it in, rather than just dumping everything into a 6-gallon bucket and hoping for the best.
Yeah.
Splitting it off down some kind of line of delineation of these things are kind of like this and these things are kind of like that. It was more complicated, but I think doing it that way, and I think the extended aging time before blending gave us a lot of leeway in trying to find something drinkable out of this.
It's you know, when you're given a whole bunch of parts, you've got to find some way to organize it into something that works, and throwing it into a bucket doesn't do that.
Right.
You know?
Right. It's a real exercise in trying to balance on the front end so you can set yourself up for some kind of success for balancing before bottling.
For sure.
I think it came out kind of nice though.
It does. That initial sniffing, it smells like it would be really, really hot, but that's the peppercorns. Because other than like little bites and tingles around the mouth, it is incredibly smooth. That is good.
And you know, as it sits and opens up, I'm getting more of that citrus, that zesty orange flavor on the exhale. So those like explosions of various flavors have started to kind of like soften out into, I mean, kind of a mandarin orange kind of like marmalade kind of flavor on the exhale.
And kind of the citrus rides on the top of the palate on the exhale, which is really nice.
It makes me want to play with Szechuan peppercorns and oranges in something that's a little bit more intentional.
Absolutely.
But I like those dark notes.
I'm thinking those are mostly from the dates and the beetroot powder for sure. But they kind of really
anchors
it. Support that. Yeah, it anchors it and really supports that spice profile. You know, so it's not just the spices are running around; they have something substantial to ride on. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna drink them both. So
well, there you go.
How bad could it be?
Yeah, no, I'm vibing with you on the syrup reduction thing. I think I've got plenty of bottles of this, so
Yeah.
I think I might play around with that some. But this has definitely given me some ideas on ingredients that I would not have thought of playing well together. That in the right mixture,
In the right hands.
with plenty of age, I think it works. I think it works. I appreciate you participating in this.
Thank you for setting this up. It was fun.
It's been pretty cool. It's one of those, like, people keep needling me about it too. Like, when is that going to come out? Is that ever going to come out? And then I started seeing comments that, oh, that never came out. I'm like, no. This is crystal clear sitting in Carboys in my studio. I just haven't got there yet.
Everyone should have known when they voted for me, it was not going to be an easy challenge. This was not going to be something that it's like, oh yeah, let's just throw these together because of course they work.
Right. Like, you could have set me up to brew like a hydromel or something,
Yeah.
and this video would have come out a year ago, and it wouldn't have made a dent, But really going hard on the ingredients list, and then establishing a process around trying to make it all work, I think demonstrates a few of the tenets that we espouse all the time, which is like quality of ingredients, quality of care in crafting your recipe, and then giving it time to mature and come into its own. All of those played into a relative. I mean, there were cereal marshmallows that exploded and hit my ceiling in there. It took me 3 months to get them off the ceiling. I mean, just wacky ingredients, but they all married together really well.
Really
Weirdly.
well. It's an honor to be a part of it.
Well, cheers. Thank you.
Cheers.
And y'all, you know how to hit the subscribe button and follow along for more interesting homebrewing content here on Doing the Most. Thank you, Rob Duck Sue.
Thank you.
You're a rock star. Cheers.
Have a good one.
Homemade brews and various how-tos, everything from mead to roast, bake creation, fermentation, inebriation, doing the most.